Today we're going to talk about character acting. I think this is one of the biggest misconceptions about what actors do, and in some cases what actors are trained to do, is character. You do character. In my case, this is my character. It's that silly if you're going to go around and saying, I'm going to become this character, or I'm going to become that character. Look, if you were on a talk show and you were describing a film that you were in, you would use the expression, well, my character went out and strangled people, or my character was a rabbi, and something that you don't really do in real life. But you're actually not becoming another person. Because I hope that you all realize that's humanly impossible. Nobody can do that. You can't become other people. The illusion is that you're becoming other people to the audience. Because in one situation you're a priest, another situation you're a serial killer, another situation you're a captain of a ship, whatever. And the illusion is because of the way you're dressed and the situation you are, that you're another person of some kind. But you think of all the great actors, the one thing they all have in common is that they are always who they are in every project they do. Otherwise they wouldn't make the big bucks. I mean, people hire Denzel Washington because he's Denzel Washington, and they know what they're going to get. If that weren't the case, how is it that people, celebrities, comedians can impersonate them? It's because of who they are, and they're the same all the time. Otherwise, that would be impossible. You'd be confused. I want to do an impersonation of Clint Eastwood, but he's so different in every movie, I don't know how I would do that. But yet everyone does, especially Jim Carrey, right? That's the best Clint Eastwood there is. So the illusion of doing other people or doing characters is just that. It's an illusion. It isn't really what we do as actors, because you will always be yourself. Your self-worth as an actor is in who and what you are as a human being, not what you become, because the only person you can be and the uniqueness of you is in who and what you are. So your self-worth as an actor is in who and what you are as a human being, and your psychological makeup as a human being, which separates you from everybody else in the entire world. Nobody is like you. So exactly what do you think you'd be bringing into the business? It'd have to be you, because otherwise what benefit would you serve? What value would you have to this industry if you were leaving the most important part of what you do as an actor out of your work, that being you? We think in terms of doing characters and becoming other people, and I think badly trained actors are taught to do that because it's called acting. You're pretending. So we come back to the fact that you don't pretend anything. You are what you are. You'll always be what you are. And you'll never escape it. A lot of people get into this business because they think, well, I'll get into show business, I'll get into films and television or whatever, and I'll escape my everyday boring humdrum self to become this other person. And then as you get into it and you learn the craft, you find out it ends up to be the very person you already were before you ever came into this. And that has a great value. You say, well, I know, but there are actors that I've watched that are dull and not very interesting, so they have to become other people. Really? Who would that be? Are you referring to Charles Bronson? Do you remember Charles Bronson, who had the personality of a doorknob and yet had the career that was huge? You remember Death Wish? Death Wish 1, Death Wish 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many of those they made? And yet the guy hardly moved. He had some kind of an odd accent from the coal mines of Pennsylvania that sounded like he was a little bit Polish, a little bit German, a little bit this, a little bit that, which made him unique. But the thing is that he was always Charles Bronson. Years ago I ran into him in a men's store on Beverly, right near CBS Studios, and I started talking to him. It's the same guy. You feel like you're in a movie with him. It's the same guy. It's the same man. Nothing changes. But again, that's the gift, is that you're using who you are. And it is a gift. You think your uniqueness is not something special. How are you ever going to work in this business? And we're not talking about arrogance. It's not arrogant. You don't walk around looking in the mirror and saying, how wonderful I am, you know. Not talking about that. It's a matter of understanding who you are, understanding what's in there, understanding how to bring that out. And that comes through the practice of the craft. That's why you study acting. That's why you practice. But a lot of people practice the wrong thing. They end up, building walls around themselves, and that's not going to be very advantageous to use in this business. Your self-worth as an actor is always going to be who and what you are as a human being. And what you do as an actor is always going to depend on what the other actor does to you. Remember, the creative source of acting for film and television is your ability to be able to react. And when you react in moments, it's spontaneous. And spontaneous acting is interesting acting. Nobody wants to go to a film to watch predictable movies and predictable actors. So keep that in mind. Be yourself. It'll always be a payoff. Guys, no characters. That'd be a cute little guy. In fact, he looks a little better than I do right now. But you don't want to be anybody else but yourself. Be the gift, be yourself, and we'll see you working in the business. On the Coaching Corner, I'm R.J. Adams, and you're still you.